Hi guys, I'm Katrina here with you.
And I'm Jason, and I'm over here on the side as today we are doing a hands-on demo. And these are my hands on the screen. We are currently on the Asus, ZenPad, Android. We're on the Android platform and we're going to do a hands-on demo today and show you how to start a new project and draw that roof from that project.
Awesome.
First thing you're going to want to do is tap on the little blue plus button in the bottom right hand corner. This is of course after you've logged in. There we go, and it pulls open this window where we can then type in a project name. So let's call this one hands-on demo. We'll select an office and we want to use our RoofSnap demo office for its pins and pricing and all that good stuff. And then go down and let's put in an address. 3700 Florian Drive in Columbus, Ohio. And the zip is important. It helps Google find the house when we go in to draw the roof. We want to add phone numbers, we can, email address, if there's separate billing information. And even more importantly down here, if there's insurance related details, we can add these right to the project. I'm going to leave with just the address, tap on the done button in the upper right hand corner. And now we have our project. So if we want to go back and view the details, we can tap on the details tab there, cancel back out. But what we really want to accomplish today is drawing the roof. So let's go ahead and tap on the sketch tile here in the project. And it's going to zoom right down in on the house from the address that we've just put in.
Yep.
Now this is Google's image, and you know, this is an okay image. We have options though. Let's go ahead and tap on the near map button up here in the upper left hand corner and see if near map has, oh look, like 7 available dates of capture.
That's great.
From near map. For a purchase price of $5, well, let me show you what we're going to get. We'll go ahead and commit to the purchase here. Tap on OK. And now that most recent near map image has loaded in. But if we tap up here in the left hand corner, we can select other dates. So if we want to come down and look at something from last year, well, that looks even a bit better. And you see we can turn and rotate the image. And the goal, because we're going to use 90 mode here in a few seconds to make sure that the lines are drawn perfectly straight, well, we have to start with a perfectly square roof. And that's what these little buttons on the side for. We can rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise and try to get it nice and straight. Katrina, sometimes I don't get these as straight as I would like, so you let me know when we've got it perfect. What do you think? One more click to the left?
Yeah, I think so.
That look pretty good on the ridge?
Yeah.
All right, and then how about down here on the bottom where that gutter is on the left?
That's looking pretty straight to me.
And on the right. You know, take a few seconds here, because the straighter the image is, the easier it's going to be to draw the roof. You'll draw it a lot faster when it's straight. But once you've got it, just bring the cursors back into the middle, and we are zoomed in all the way. And when we commit to this image, we do so by tapping on Snap and Start Drawing up here in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to tap on that, and this saves the project image to the project. And this will, you know, take a few seconds to save the image, but then it's going to load it up here now into our sketch screen. But we are in pan and zoom mode by default, so we can really zoom in on different areas. And then these are our different drawing modes down here. When we tap on Draw, we can check out some supplementary imagery, some Google Street View. Let's take a look at that. Well, it's moving us around. Let's go ahead and turn on this little, tap on that little button over there. That keeps it from using the gyroscope. And we can see the front of the house. Little bit of tree coverage there in the way, but it gives us an idea of what we're drawing from, you know, not a straight down view, but from a straight on view.
You can see any hidden eyebrows or anything else, other details.
Absolutely. And then we can tap on Done, and we can open up Bing's bird's eye view as well and get an idea of what the roof likes from different angles. There we go, load it in. And if we tap on these little arrows here, left and right, next to the compass icon here, we can see the house from all four sides. And again, look for any little kickouts, any little bay windows or anything like that from these angles are going to be a lot easier to see than from straight overhead. So let's tap on the done button again, and let's go ahead and draw some lines. So we are in draw mode. We're going to tap on this little gray space here to slide that drawer over. We can tap on it again to bring it back, but that gets it out of the way for right now. And when I put my finger on the screen, see how that cursor just shows right up?
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't like where that cursor was, especially if you were left-handed, that may be problematic.
Very true.
Tap on settings. You can change quite a few things here in settings. You can move the cursor, the horizontal offset, and the vertical offset to exactly where you want it to be. And if you need to change the pickup time, and we'll talk about the pickup time here in a little bit, you can slide that left and right to make it longer or shorter.
Great.
All right, so let's go ahead and hit cancel because I'm not going to save any of those changes. And before we draw our first line, well, let's turn on 90 mode. Now it's green, 90 mode on. What 90 mode does is it's going to help us draw the lines either perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical. Now we can still draw diagonal lines, but watch, when I start to get close to perfectly vertical, it just pops right to it. It knows when I'm straight up and down. And that's why the image has to be straight to begin with, otherwise this wouldn't help.
Sure, sure.
So to draw your first line, put your cursor where you want it, and then with another finger, and I'm going to use my other index finger, just tap anywhere on the screen. And you see that that actuates the line drawing. Now when I get to the end, and I'm going to do it wrong intentionally, I'm just going to pick my finger, my drawing finger up, and my whole line went away. See, that's what a lot of you might suffer from. You might think the line's going to just stay put when you take your finger off. But what you have to do is you have to tap once to start the line, and then tap again to lock in the line. 2 taps, one to start, one to stop. Now see, I didn't have to pick up my drawing finger though. I was able to just start the next line off of that ending line with a tap. And we'll do it again. We'll tap here and then just draw the next line. Tap here, draw the next line. Tap, and I'm just going to go all the way around the perimeter of the roof. Come down here. Tap, and when I get out to the end, I'm going to line up with that very first spot, and it's just going to pop right to it. It's going to put me perfectly straight down from that very first starting point. And then I'm going to tap on the screen again. And here is where the line just connects, and you'll see it snap right to the point. I tapped on the screen, and now I have the whole roof outlined.
How do you know for sure?
Okay, so that's a great question, and Katrina always knows where I'm going. Facets, tap on facets, and if it's shaded in blue, as this entire roof is shaded in blue, you can be certain that you've closed it in on all sides.
Wonderful.
But we want more than just the outline of the roof. We want the hips and the ridges and the valleys and all the other lines to, slice and dice this up into its different parts and pieces.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tap back into draw mode, and I'm going to put my cursor here in the corner, and it's going to pop right to that corner, and I'm going to come down and draw on this diagonal. Now for this, I don't need 90 mode, but I can leave it off or on to draw in my diagonal lines. So if I want to come over here and draw on this hip, now the only disadvantage is it's not going to tell me now when I'm lined up straight across from that other hip. So I'll turn 90 mode back on in mid-drawing. And now it pops, and it just lines right up with that other hip, perfectly straight all the way across. So I recommend leaving 90 mode on as much as possible. Now, sometimes you're going to be drawing shorter lines, and that's what this icon is for here, this blue cursor icon. If we're drawing a shorter line, well, making the cursor smaller means that it's not going to snap as easily to other points and other lines. So that could come in handy when you're drawing lines that are very close together. Let's make the cursor bigger for now. Go ahead and tap on the screen at the finish of each line. There we go. Now we're just going to draw one line to connect this hip down this side. So let me tap on the screen. See, I'm using my thumb now. I'm just tapping with my thumb on the screen to start that line. And then I get down here to the corner, tap on the screen again. Same thing here with this valley. Make sure my cursor's on that point, and then I draw up the valley, and it's going to connect to that spot where the hip meets the ridge, and then I tap on the screen again, and it's locked in. And I've got just a few more lines over here, so let's come down this hip. And you see how it wants to connect to that line straight over to the left?
Yeah.
But I actually want it to be a little lower. So let's change the cursor and make it tiny. This is going to allow me to be more precise with this line. and I can come right to the spot where I believe the hips and the valleys are intersecting, which is right there. And then tap again and come down the valley. Tap. Tap to start the line, come straight down. And you know what? Make it a little easier on me. Let's make that cursor large again. Come straight down. That's why we put those buttons right on the screen, because you will be turning them off and on as you draw the roof. And then the last line here. Tap to start the line, come down. Hit that end point there and then tap. And now I have the roof all sliced and diced up into all of its separate roof sections.
Wonderful.
When I hit facets now, you'll see that I have a 0 pitch for each roof section.
Perfect.
Well, let's go ahead and put in pitch.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that while we're in facets mode. It's over here in the drawer. See the drawer? We had to slide it back out because we kept it hidden for that drawing session.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and tap on pitch. And the entire roof is a 512. So I'm going to tap on 512. And then I can hit apply to all. I didn't hit apply to all. I bumped the 0. Apply to all. There we go. Now let's say a few of the facets were 612. Well, let's go ahead and highlight 612 and then just tap right on them. And you see you can change some of them to 612. Or you can just hit apply to all and make them all 612.
Gotcha.
So let's say the entire roof is a 612, and let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to go now from facets here at the bottom over to edges. Now we have all of our line labels. And most of you who are using this software are going to know where all your eaves and rakes and ridges belong.
Sure.
Because you've drawn roofs before, but you've probably used, you know, graph paper and a pencil sitting up at the top of the roof. So let's go ahead and tap on eaves. And just to let you know, there's more information behind here. If you tap on eaves a second time, you can add eave edge, which is a designation for drip edge. You can add ice and water shield. You can add gutters. I'm just going to leave it with these two for now and begin to tap and add these labels to all of my eave edge lines. Move the drawer, and that's good. Now I open the drawer back up, and let's grab my ridges. And let's say I want ridge vent on all my ridges. So I tapped on it a second time and I added ridge vent. And then we just tap on all the ridges. That's good. Now let's go and get the hips. Well, hips, there's nothing under hips. That's all there is. So we'll just go ahead and add the hip label to all of the hips. And that's good. So we just have the 2 valleys left. So let's open the drawer back up and go to valley. And tap on valley a second time and grab ice and water shield for both of these valleys. There we go. All right, so we have all the facets closed, all the lines labeled, everything's drawn. This looks good.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and tap on the done button in the upper right hand corner. And now we have the project completely drawn. And in order to see those measurements, we want to tap right here on this green tile. So here are the measurements, but the main reason we've come in here is because this is a hipped roof and it might make sense to go ahead and change the waste percentage. You can modify your own waste percentage to whatever you see fit. We'll tap on the done button and then the done button again up here in the upper right hand corner, and that's going to bring us back out to the main project. And now let's create the measurement report, the PDF document that you can email or share to your customers or colleagues. All right, so we're going to tap Create Sketch Report in the upper right-hand corner. This is generating that PDF document. Katrina, how are we doing so far?
Good.
Are the hands working? Is this,
I can tell exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's
We
fantastic.
want the gestures to be very clear so that you know what the hands need to be doing right on the screen.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to articulate what we're doing, and a little easier when you can see it yourself. So
once the once the network has created that sketch report, it gets loaded into our device, and we go and tap on it and open it right up. There we go. Now we're viewing it as a PDF right on our tablet. You can see it's loaded in the project name, the customer address. If we had phone numbers in there, it would show all that. All of your salesperson's information is over here on the right. That primary near map image, we just scroll down through and we can see all the different pages, pitch breakdown, all the measurement details, all the line measurements, category measurements, and of course our total squares.
mm-hmm.
So again, this is the information we need to put together an accurate estimate, an accurate proposal for what's for the work that's being done.
For sure.
and then a breakdown of each roof section by area. And that's it. Now, for those of you who are used to Android, you probably don't need me to tell you this, but these three little buttons in the upper right-hand corner are going to open up some of your options for sharing this document. So if you want to send the file or download it, send the file, I believe, is going to give you some email and Google Drive options down here at the bottom, or share it to your computer using Bluetooth. So yeah, you can send the file to an insurance adjuster or to your customer, or whatever you want to do. That being said, we can always go back to the project. We can always make changes as needed. And if we make any changes, we would hit the done button. I'm going to just leave it without saving any changes. But just so you know, if you do make any changes to the drawing, you can always create another revision of the sketch report.
Whoops.
Sorry about that. There we go. Create another revision of the sketch report, and that'll have any changes that you make to the drawing.
Okay. Great.
Katrina, is there anything else that we should cover in this section?
I think this just about does it.
All right, great. Well, thank you all for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for being with us, and stick around for more videos and tutorials and how-tos.
Take care.